Keeping his promise, Trump comes through with a major campaign rally of saving Carrier AC from moving factory operations out of the country and to Mexico. And the death toll continues to rise in the Tennessee wildfires as firefighters continue to battle the massive blaze in the Smoky Mountains, while residents in the Deep South clean up after a round of tornadoes. And finally, authorities are getting a clearer picture of what went wrong when an airliner carrying a Brazilian football team crashed in the mountains of Colombia. Mustang World News starts now.
Broadcasting from Mustang News International Headquarters on Cal Poly's campus. This is Mustang World News.
Hello and welcome to Mustang World News. I'm Allison Edmonds. We begin today with Donald Trump, but this time he is delivering on a major campaign promise of keeping jobs in the United States. After hearing about the AC unit producers' plans to relocate over 1,000 jobs to Mexico, Trump promised to negotiate with the company as president to keep all the jobs in the United States. The president-elect traveled to the Carrier plant in Indiana on Thursday to celebrate his first victory, and he said there is no reason for companies to leave the United States.
All of the other companies know that we're going to do great things for business. There's no reason for them to leave anymore.
With more on this major victory for the incoming administration, we turn now to reporter Suzanne Malvo with more.
President-elect Donald Trump taking credit for saving American manufacturing jobs from going to Mexico. A campaign promise he made to Carrier employees in Indianapolis.
But we're not going to let them just take our companies out, fire everybody. These are people with Carrier for many, many years. We're not going to let it happen.
Trump and Carrier both tweeting overnight. They have reached a deal to keep close to 1,000 jobs in Indy after the company's announcement back in February.
The best way to stay competitive and protect the business for long term is to move production from our facility in Indianapolis to Monterrey, Mexico.
The parent company, United Technologies, planned to shutter its Carrier plant in Indianapolis that employs 1,400 workers and a nearby plant in Huntington that employs 700, saving the company, according to the workers' union, more than $65 million a year in labor costs. A move Carrier's union rep, Chuck Jones, says would have destroyed many workers' lives.
I'm going to give him 100% of the credit. I wasn't a Trump supporter. In fact, I hammered him pretty good. And when I see him tomorrow, I'm going to tell him, I hammered your ass pretty good, but I'm going to give you credit because what you said you was going to do, you fulfilled that promise, and I appreciate it.
Steve Mnuchin, Trump's pick for Treasury Secretary, telling reporters today he thought the deal was a terrific opportunity.
The president-elect and the vice president picked up the phone and called the CEO of United Technologies and told him we wanted to keep jobs here. Can't remember the last time a president did that.
Team Trump also crediting Vice President-elect Mike Pence, who was the current governor of Indiana, for helping persuade Carrier to stay.
The governor was heavily involved there in terms of making sure there was a package of proposals put together for Carrier to incentivize them to stay.
But what's not clear yet are those terms of the deal. On the campaign trail, Trump called for imposing a tariff on imported goods made outside the country.
When you sell your air conditioners, you're going to pay a 35% tax as those air conditioners cross the border. And you know what's going to happen? They're not going to move.
Now employees at a neighboring plant, Rexnord, are hoping Trump will step in and prevent their jobs from going to Mexico, too.
It's a real hardship. I've got 3 kids, 2 in college. This isn't my first rodeo. This has happened to me before. And it's tough to start over and do it again, but that's what we do.
And deadly wildfires have damaged or destroyed more than 250 buildings in and near eastern Tennessee's resort towns of Gatlinburg and Pigeon Forge. At least 13 people have died and more than 14,000 people were forced to evacuate the southern Appalachian mountainside as about 14 fires rage. Mary Maloney reports.
Out-of-control wildfires forced thousands to flee. Some evacuees have to drive through the flames to get to safety.
This is crazy.
More than a dozen fires threaten the Great Smoky Mountains of eastern Tennessee. But instead of seeing the serene mountainside, people feel hot flames and stinging smoke being pushed by strong winds.
The power went out, so it was very dark. The smoke was so thick we couldn't breathe. Our eyes were stinging, so we just grabbed a blanket and took off running.
We just watched a building go down in flames to the right of us, and then we pulled in front of another building that wasn't on fire yet. But the fireman came and got us, and I don't know who he was, but I thank him so much.
The fires damaging or destroying homes and businesses.
Personally, I think I've lost my house, but, things can be rebuilt.
It's difficult to go out into a community and try to protect and serve others when your own property and everything that you've worked for is burning down. But that's what these men and women have done for the last 24 hours.
As the firefighters fight the flames, those in shelters wonder what the fires will spare.
The things I've known probably don't exist anymore. I can just close my eyes and have that memory in my heart. Pray for us. That's the one thing I know that will work. God will take care of the rest.
I'm Mary Maloney reporting.
And further south of Tennessee, residents in the southeast are waking up to severe damage today. At least 5 people are dead after deadly tornadoes touched down in parts of Alabama, Georgia, and Tennessee. Yasmin Admer has more.
Devastating scenes across the southeast after a round of deadly storms. At least 3 tornadoes ripped through northern Alabama, according to the National Weather Service. Jackson County saw some of the worst damage. Strong winds knocked down trees and power lines and turned some buildings into ruins. One resident says a large tree collapsed on his house. But given the sheer destruction around him, he says it could have been a lot worse.
I'm one of the lucky ones. I still got a roof over my head.
In Georgia, 3 suspected tornadoes touched down in the metro Atlanta area. No one was injured, but residents describe a terrifying afternoon.
It was so much wind, everything was just flying everywhere. It was bad.
Really dark up there, right here in front of us.
It was like the wind was just like...
Everything was just flying
and the
everywhere.
whole door just shook.
2 people were killed in Tennessee, where weather officials say a tornado touched down in Polk County. That state is already reeling from deadly wildfires that have killed 7 people so far. Wednesday's rain provided some relief, but it's not nearly enough to quell the region's worst drought in nearly a decade. I'm Yasmin Admer reporting.
As Brazil and Colombia grieve for the victims of Flight 2933, new clues are emerging about what might have brought the plane down. An audio recording between the pilot and air traffic control points to the total failure of both electricity and fuel. Shasta Darlington has more.
New details emerging into what caused Lamia Flight 2933 to crash just as it was about to descend into Medellin, Colombia. A Colombian radio station released a conversation between an air traffic controller and one of the pilots of the ill-fated flight. In the recording, the pilot is desperately telling the air traffic controller that the plane was experiencing total failure. Minutes later, another exchange.
La señal radar se perdió, no lo tengo, notifique rumbo ahora. Vamos con rumbo 360. Con rumbo, mire por la izquierda, 010, procedería al localizador del borde Río Negro, 1 milla delante del borde. Al momento usted se encuentra, correcto, le confirmo, por la izquierda con rumbo 350. Izquierda 350, señora. Sí, correcto. Usted está a 0,1 milla del borde Río Negro. No lo tengo con la altitud, Lima, India.
And then, silence. Those recordings, now part of an investigation, are sealed. Colombian authorities would not confirm their authenticity to CNN, but said the audio has some overlap with their investigation. Lamia Flight 2933 crashed just minutes away from reaching the runway, killing 71 on board. Many of the victims were players for Chapecoense, a Brazilian underdog soccer team that made it to the finals of one of South America's most prestigious soccer tournaments. Family, friends, and fans ready to celebrate their team's possible victory, now mourning their loss, embracing one another, visibly devastated. Meanwhile, thousands of Chapecoense fans and friends packed stadiums in both Medellin, where their first tournament game was to be held, and Chapeco, the team's hometown, remembering their beloved team in death just as they celebrated them in life, cheering them on. Shasta Darlington, CNN, Medellin, Colombia.
And coming up after the break, we will have a look at the fight at Standing Rock to stop the Dakota Access Pipeline from being built, when Mustang World News continues. Take out your bug.
They're coming. Places, everybody.
Light check. 1, 2, 1, 2.
Everything looks good on our end.
And lights.
Come alive with the forest. Visit discovertheforest.org to find a forest near you. It's a short ride from your neighborhood to your naturehood. To find a neighborhood park or green space near you, visit discovertheforest.org.
Na 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 na, I love you so. I love you, I love you. La 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 la, la 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 la.
We're here.
It's a short drive from your neighborhood to your naturehood. To find a neighborhood park or green space near you, visit discovertheforest.org.
Love is love.
For months, protesters have been holding ground in the Dakotas to stop the construction of an oil pipeline that would cut through drinking water supply on Native American land. As winter begins in the region, the protesters are not giving up as police use more physical tactics to try and clear the protesters. TYT Politics reporter Jordan Sheraton spoke with Harold Frazier, chairman of the Cheyenne River Sioux Tribe, about the latest horrific actions by the North Dakota Oil Police.
Hey, it's Jordan with TYT Politics. I'm here with the chairman of the Cheyenne River Tribe, and it's about to be dark here. Obviously, we have the razor wire in the background that the police have wrapped around Turtle Island, as they've been for weeks. They're standing on the burial grounds of Native American ancestors. And you, Chairman, have been on the front lines many times. You've seen this situation play out. Obviously, it's been escalating. What's your thoughts on the recent days and horrific scenes?
I just can't believe what's been happening. You know, I've been advocating for the safety of our people, but yet it seems like it's falling on deaf ears. Really don't got no support other than each other. And I think I'm really happy about that a lot of people are standing together, because it comes down to it, it looks like all we have is each other.
And when you look at the, war crimes that are being perpetrated, they're standing on your ancestors' burial ground. They're unleashing pepper spray, tear gas, grenades, rubber bullets. This is stuff you don't really see unless it's war, and there's no consequences for them. Is this something that surprises you? Is this something that disgusts you, or you're just used to it?
You know, it is a little bit surprising. You know, I always thought when growing up and going to school, you're taught that the federal government will always watch out for you and protect you. And as chairman of our tribe, I was in discussion with the Corps of Engineers, Colonel Henderson, And he told me, he said, as long as your people are on federal ground, you will be protected. And 2 days later, he issues a letter to Morton County giving them jurisdiction to arrest our people for trespass, which is, I cannot believe, how the heck can an Indian be charged with trespassing on their own land?
And, this letter that they sent, they spoke about the laws that are broken here, garbage and things like fires, but there's no mention of the pepper spray, the tear gas, the grenades. There's a 21-year-old who had her arm nearly blown off on Sunday. Another one is in surgery to save her eye. All this from police. What does it say to you that they are essentially looking the other way as police, really just, instead of enforcing the law, they break the law?
Yeah, I always felt it's been one-sided. I've expressed that in meetings when I meet with the Department of Justice, Department of Interior, Corps of Engineers. I say, we got our side. Somebody needs to come and hear the people's side of what's really happening. Right now, a lot of they're making decisions based on the reports from the Morton County, which are ridiculous, untrue. Like Sunday night, I was there on the bridge, and I've seen no type of aggression. I've seen our people assaulted. It's just really sad and sickening the way our people being treated here at the camp.
And last question, obviously December 5th. They've essentially said you can't be here past December 5th. They didn't say they're going to come in and raid, but it doesn't seem like they're going to just let you stay. Do you anticipate with the veterans coming around the same time, a standoff of sorts?
I think so. Enough's enough. I mean, we've been pushed and pushed and pushed, and at some point we need to make a stand. And I think that of all places, this is the way it is. I think, for Indian people, this is it. We got to make a stand and stand up to them. If not, they'll always push us. And I think that, we will stand strong with the veterans. And I think that's the only way we could do it is stand together.
And how does that play out? Do you see that as, just going up to the police, not with weapons or anything, but trying to break the blockade? How do you see that playing out?
Come December 5th, we'll find out.
Dun, dun, dun. Thank you, sir.
As the Republicans continue to build the leadership of the future government, Democrats in Congress on their leader in the House of Representatives. House Minority Leader Nancy Pelosi will keep her position as the top elected Democrat in the House. House Democrats voted in a secret ballot contest Wednesday morning. The final vote, 134-63 for Pelosi over Ohio Representative Tim Ryan. Ryan's calls for a leadership shakeup failed to resonate with many Democrats who believe Pelosi's experience is needed for the coming fights against President-elect Donald Trump and the GOP-led Congress. The 76-year-old California Congresswoman has run the House Democratic caucus for the last 14 years. Coming up, a Packers fan goes pantsless for a win, and a baby goat goes viral for wearing a duck costume for anxiety relief. You'll quack up at today's Take a Look at This.
They're coming. Places, everybody.
Light check. 1, 2, 1, 2.
Everything looks good on our end.
And lights.
Come alive with the forest. Visit discovertheforest.org to find a forest near you. It's a short ride from your neighborhood to your naturehood. To find a neighborhood park or green space near you, visit discovertheforest.org.
Na 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 na, I love you so. I love you, I love you. La 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 la, la 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 la.
We're here.
It's a short drive from your neighborhood to your naturehood. To find a neighborhood park or green space near you, visit discovertheforest.org.
Doesn't see race. Love is love.
As college students here at Cal Poly and across the country get ready for finals, there's a sense of anxiety and stress that all grips the campus. But believe it or not, animals have anxiety too. Can a duck costume of all things really calm the nerves of one stressed out baby goat? One owner says, "Totes my goats." Jeremy Roth has today's Take a Look at This.
Meet Polly the goat. Polly's owner, who runs an animal sanctuary in New Jersey, says the goat suffers from severe anxiety. But not to worry, apparently this goofy duck costume is just what the doctor ordered. Polly's owner says for whatever reason, when Polly puts on the costume, she's as happy as a clam. Or, I guess, a duck. That's right, Polly wants a quacker. And as bizarre as it may be, the internet is loving it. Polly is going viral, quacking up thousands on social media. A Green Bay Packers fan that made a vow to only wear shorts until his beloved team brought home a win is finally in the clear. Or is he? After a 4-game losing streak, the Packers finally won Monday night, but now this superstitious fan is changing his thinking.
I decided, I think my shorts are good luck. I'm going to wear shorts as long as they keep winning now.
Really? I wonder what he'd be willing to wear to get them through the playoffs. Or take a look at this. I'm Jeremy Roth.
Well, that's all we have for you from around the world this week. For Mustang World News, I'm Allison Edmonds, and from all of us here at Mustang News here and abroad, thanks for watching. Have a great day.